I was so excited to see come play. Not that come play. Jesus. Come Play centers an autistic boy named Oliver who is trying to fit in, who has no friends, and just all in all seems to lead a very lonely life. As a result of his loneliness, some weird things start to happen in his family's home, where he feels as though he's not as alone as he previously thought. Some weird entity starts to stalk him through his device. I know it sounds freaking weird, but this movie actually did this so freaking well. So I'm not going to give any spoilers here, and honestly, I would not watch the trailer if I were you. Even if you've watched a trailer before, I would not advise you to go back and watch it because it gives so many spoilers, it's not even funny. You will enjoy the movie a whole lot better if you just go in and watch it. So one thing I actually loved about this movie was the use of tension. I love the monster design. I love the use of tension. It was done really, really well. The music, the scores, the sound that the monster made, that scary vibe that the movie had throughout the entirety of it was actually really well done. Capturing the monster's movements and the way it sounded and how it was introduced, how the characters were able to interact with it and feel it out, made me feel as though the creators were really in touch with the audience and how to give them the right kind of scare. I also like that they didn't show too much of the monster too soon.
I'll fight you for it.
I really did enjoy how they character builded Oliver, even though he doesn't really say much. What I did find a little bit hard to believe in some cases were the parents. The parents were annoying sometimes. I did like the parents. I didn't want anything bad to happen to them, but I felt as though half the time I was watching them, they just put things together a little bit too soon. It just seemed very weird. I mean, I kind of do like the novelty of the parents believing the kid for once, but at the same time, I know that the movie is only a certain amount of hours long or minutes long, but they were able to put together how things worked and what was happening, and it just seemed very unrealistic. And yes, I know it's a movie and it's supposed to be unrealistic, but what I'm trying to say is that we would be a little bit better immersed if it didn't feel like a CSI episode. And sometime during the movie, it kind of started to feel like that. There was also some wicked character building for the monster too. The way they executed that was just really awesome, if you don't mind me saying. I actually was really intrigued with the monster, and I walked away from the movie actually wanting to know more about this monster. If you're wondering whether or not you should definitely watch it, yes, you should definitely give it a go. I'm not sad at all that I gave this movie my money. It was really a good watch. It was enjoyable. I absolutely loved it. There were a few times where I was like, eee, and there were some times when they used tension the right way, and I do appreciate that. Now, for those of you who don't want any spoilers, you should probably go on and get out of here, because this is going to be some serious spoiler territory. Now, what I did not like about the movie, I liked everything else that I said in the spoiler-free portion of this video. I did like the kid. I love the fact that Oliver was able to make up with his friend. I love the monster design. I love Larry. I actually feel bad for Larry, and I want to know more about him. But what I didn't like was, as I was saying, the parents able to figure everything out just willy-nilly, and some of the inconsistencies with the movie that I find a little bit too convenient. Okay, so the parents quickly figure out it's the devices, it's this, it's that, and whatever. Okay, I can kind of forgive that to a degree, but then they say that Larry requires electricity to get to our world. They went to a field where there was no electricity for Larry to come through, yet he's able to take the kid to the forest where there's no electricity and still be able to manifest himself. Okay, so does he need electricity or does he not need electricity? Which is it? Also, the parents were really freaking stupid. If they knew that this thing fed on electricity or that it required electricity or devices for it to come through, why would they actively get rid of all the devices? So, like the mother said, but then she's like, well, I guess he needs a way to communicate so he can take my phone to school. Did she not think that that device would also be susceptible to the monster coming through? I don't get how she's like, get rid of every single device in the house. Nothing with a screen must be in this house. Nothing with a screen must be in our possession. And then she gives her kid her phone to take to school. Like, what are you talking about? Then the other thing I was really weirded out about is, okay, Larry needs electricity or devices to get to our world, right? He can't do anything to the kid or hurt the kid or touch him unless he has a device or electricity to get through. How is he able to touch the kid or harm them, like I said, when there's no devices around. But not even just that. Larry must have some serious morals, because if he can touch the kid and drag him away, and he says he's gonna take a friend regardless, then why does he need the kid's hand? I mean, either he's a really stand-up gentleman, but he was able to grab the kid, and he says that he only has a little bit of time, so before his light flickers out or what have you, he's gonna grab someone anyways. So, yeah. It's like sometimes the rules apply to Larry and then sometimes they don't. The inconsistency, especially near the last half of the movie, was just ridiculous. Like they were just making it up as they went along. Larry needs us to come through our world. He needs a friend to come through our world. But then near the end of the movie, he just comes through the screen anyway. So I guess the rules that he made up for himself they just don't apply. Maybe he just lied. I feel like they were giving us the lore for Larry, but then they just, said, fuck you, lore. This doesn't make any sense. Well, how about this? How are we gonna get Larry to get to them in a forest where there's absolutely no electricity whatsoever? And just make it like a kilometer thing. After a certain amount of kilometers, and he can just, still be there, I guess. I don't know what the frick is going on. See, in this scene right here, this scene, the field. He's only able to come out through the phone. He low-key looks like a little baby Cloverfield monster, though. Also, Larry has some really long-ass legs and arms. So how is it when the mother and son were running away, no matter what Larry did, he could just not catch up to them? Really? Classical horror movie trope much? I don't think they know what they wanted to do with this movie halfway through, and they just hoped that the audience would be so creeped out that they just wouldn't pick up on certain things. But while I was watching, I picked up on it, because I realized that all those things I listed just didn't make a one drop of sense. Also, is Larry part of a species, or is he just one thing? Was he just created? Because there's tons of very lonely people that are made fun of because they're different from everyone else, and they either go on to being multimillionaires, just sad lonely people, or they end up killing a whole bunch of people. Larry didn't take them, though. And when the kid is actually swinging around with his mom and whatnot, okay, so she's in the realm where Larry is, and now she'll protect him forever and ever, amen. Is she gonna become the new monster? What if the father has to move on, and she's still hanging around? Is she gonna be totally okay with that? Is she a monster of loneliness? If she's the antithesis to Larry, then how are she and Larry going to be friends? If they're friends, then what? Okay, is she going to be Larry's way next time he tries to go away and take people? Or is it because she's in the realm with Larry, he no longer has to go hunt for people who have loneliness because he has a friend? And by that logic, isn't Larry pretty selfish? Okay, now I'm just nitpicking. But all in all, this movie was great. I did enjoy it. I loved the idea of Larry, kind of like a whole Chucky doll thing going on there. I do like that. I do like the design of the creature. They really showed too much in the trailer, and the only reason I still went away having a great experience is because I absolutely forgot what the trailer was about. I forgot what was in the trailer, or I actually didn't watch it all the way through. If I did, I honestly don't remember. I think the adults acting could have been a little bit better, but hey, it was still a great experience. So would I suggest you guys seeing it in theaters? Surely, yeah, go ahead. It's worth getting COVID for, guys. It's actually a really nice movie, and considering all the movies we've gotten recently in 2019, it's not bad at all. Great way to head off Halloween and into the end of the year. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.